What really happened inside that hospital room that made HYBE's security rush in within seconds? Why did Jungkook's medical monitor suddenly start blaring so loud it echoed through the hallway? And what was the expression on Jin's face when he heard the sound from the next room? The world is asking, and no one seems ready for the truth that is slowly unfolding behind the scenes tonight. Moments ago, panic struck inside the restricted medical wing where BTS's Jungkook has been under intensive observation. Witnesses close to the situation reported that a high-pitched alarm suddenly broke the silence, the sound of a medical monitor signaling a rapid change in Jungkook's vital readings. Staff on duty rushed in, and within seconds, the corridor outside the room filled with HYBE security and a team of doctors. For a brief moment, even those accustomed to handling crises froze. No one expected this to happen. The footage from a nearby hallway camera reportedly captured the moment an assistant physician ran out of the room, signaling for immediate support. Sources say the sound came from the heart monitor, an alarm that indicates either a drop or a sudden spike in vital activity. What triggered it? Was it exhaustion? Emotional strain? Or something deeper that has been silently building for days? HYBE has not released an official statement, but their internal movement tonight tells a different story. Vehicles were seen arriving at the medical facility and senior staff were called in past midnight. The company's emergency protocol appears to have been activated. "This is not a drill," one insider whispered, describing the atmosphere inside as tense, fast, and silent at the same time. The question now is, how critical is Jungkook's condition really? Fans across the globe have erupted in worry. The ARMY community flooded social media with prayers, disbelief, and endless speculation. Has Jungkook's recovery taken a sudden turn? Why did the monitor alarm go off just hours after he reportedly smiled for the first time in days? The emotional weight of that single sound, the sharp, sudden beep, has now become the symbol of fear and hope colliding in real time. Inside the room, according to a medical observer, chaos turned to calm within minutes. Doctors adjusted the lines, reset the system, and whispered to one another. But something about their faces hinted that this was not just a technical glitch. A nurse reportedly placed a hand over her mouth, while another tried to calm Jin, who was present during the incident. Jin, ever the anchor of the group, reportedly stood frozen before stepping closer to Jungkook's bedside. He whispered something that no one could hear, and then the monitor's sound faded. Silence filled the room again. But what caused the sudden alarm? Was it a reaction to new medication? A momentary stress surge? Or perhaps an emotional trigger connected to recent events? Those questions are spreading faster than any official update. HYBE's internal channels have reportedly gone on high alert. Staff phones have been muted. The company's private network locked. One executive described the current situation as fragile, too fragile to speak carelessly. Meanwhile, armies have been posting messages with a hashtag #StayStrongJungkook, turning it into a global trend within minutes. Across timelines, fans shared clips of Jungkook performing, smiling, and singing with his usual warmth, now mixed with fear and tears. "Please, just open your eyes and smile again," one comment read, gathering thousands of replies. Every corner of social media feels like a hospital waiting room, anxious, restless, but united. Rumors began to circulate that HYBE may release a health statement soon. But if history tells anything, the company tends to remain silent until full medical assessments are confirmed. Some suggest that the monitor's alarm was connected to an irregular pulse rate, while others insist that the issue was with oxygen levels. Neither version has been confirmed, yet the tension remains. The fact that a sudden alarm could send HYBE's entire crisis unit into motion proves how delicate the situation is as of now. The last verified detail is that Jungkook is still under supervision. HYBE officials have been seen pacing the corridors, speaking quietly into phones. Jin has reportedly refused to leave his side. "He's there all the time," said a person familiar with the situation. "He hasn't said much, but you can see everything in his eyes. The fear, the hope, the love." What was supposed to be a routine observation has now turned into a night of uncertainty. No one knows if the sound came from a medical malfunction or if Jungkook's body sent a real warning sign. But one thing is certain, the silence that followed was heavier than the alarm itself. Every heartbeat inside that room seems to carry the weight of millions waiting outside. This is more than just a health update. It's the moment where reality shakes the strongest hearts. The man known for his stage power and endless smiles is now in the hands of quiet machines, surrounded by doctors and guarded by silence. HYBE's panic is not without reason. Jungkook's well-being is not only personal, it's the heart of a generation. As the night stretches on, fans refuse to close their eyes. Updates are being monitored minute by minute. No official confirmation yet, no denial either. The company's silence has become its own statement, one that speaks of fear, care, and preparation in a world used to curated perfection. The sound of a medical alarm cuts through all illusions. It's a reminder that even stars who seem invincible are human. That behind every stage light, there are fragile breaths, untold exhaustion, and unspoken pain. For Jungkook, that single alarm has now turned into the most haunting echo of the night, one that keeps everyone awake, waiting, praying. Will HYBE speak in the morning? Will Jungkook recover from this sudden episode? What did Jin whisper in those seconds before the room fell silent again? The truth remains hidden for now, wrapped in layers of privacy and hope. Stay with us for the next update, and if your heart is with Jungkook tonight, let it be heard. Leave your thoughts, prayers, and strength in the comments below. Share this story, like, and subscribe so you don't miss the next piece of truth as it unfolds. Because tonight, one question still echoes louder than any alarm. What really happened to Jungkook? The night has not grown quieter since that sound. Even hours later, the hallway lights remain on. Every step of every staff member echoes with the tension that no one dares to name. Outside the building, a black van with tinted windows arrived shortly after midnight. Some say it was bringing HYBE's emergency medical liaison. Others believe it carried someone very close to Jungkook, someone who refused to be identified. The atmosphere is suffocating, not because of noise, but because of the silence that follows panic. What exactly triggered the monitor? That is the question haunting everyone. Doctors are rechecking the logs, scanning every second of the recorded data from Jungkook's bed. The rhythm of his heart, the fluctuations in oxygen levels, the movements during rest, all being reanalyzed frame by frame. One nurse whispered that it looked like a sudden, sharp spike followed by a drop. If that's true, it means Jungkook's body experienced something so intense that even the machines struggled to interpret it. Emotional stress, exhaustion, or perhaps a deeper internal complication. No one knows yet. Jin reportedly stepped outside the room after the doctors stabilized the readings. His expression, according to one eyewitness, was pale and unreadable. For a moment, he pressed his back against the cold wall, closing his eyes, whispering something like a prayer. Another staff member brought him water, but he didn't take it. He kept staring at the closed door. The sound of the monitor had already stopped, but its echo seemed to live in his mind. Those who saw him say it was the first time in years they saw Jin look truly afraid.